Making $30,000 a month with Instagram as an online sports coach is simple, not easy. But in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to be doing on your Instagram if you want to make $30,000 a month coaching athletes online as a sports coach. If this is your first time here, my name is Nick. I run an online consulting company helping sports coaches achieve time and financial freedom by the online mentorship model, so that way they could train more athletes, make more money, and create a life of freedom. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I got an absolute banger for you guys, okay? Now, for those of you guys that don't know how many people we've helped actually do this, at my last in-person event, we gave out 5 trophies of clients making at least $30,000 a month, with our highest earning client making over $100,000 a month. And at this next one, we have at least 2 more, and there's a bunch of other people, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens who have made at least $10,000 a month. And there are other people who have made over $30,000, $50,000 a month who aren't in our program anymore. We just didn't ever give them a trophy, okay? So to preface everything that I'm about to say, we're really good at helping people do this. There's nobody else out there making content that is this in-depth about how to make money coaching athletes online. So get out your pen and paper, take some notes, whether you're a current client, you're thinking about becoming a client, or you just want to learn. This is going to be super valuable, okay? So we need to understand that there are 3 stages that we need to take people through on Instagram, okay? One of the biggest problems that I see people make is they try and sell directly in every single piece of content that they make. You need an actual strategy, okay? It's like, let's say you were to walk up to a woman in the bar and ask her if she wanted to marry you and have your children, and you guys move to a remote island and raise your children on the farm, right? Maybe that seems like a dream to some of you guys, okay? However, if you say that to an absolute stranger, what are they gonna say? You are a nut job, right? But if you go up to her, you talk to her, you ask her name, you get to know her, you take her on a date, you meet her parents, you know, you date for 3 years, and then all of a sudden, you know, now you ask her to marry you, she's gonna be like, well, what took you so long, right? It could be the exact same person, but it's about how we enter the interaction and how we build that trust over time, okay? Because you might have somebody follow you on social media right now who is exactly who you want to help. They're the exact type of person that you can help get results. And then you outbound message them and you're like, hey, I have this program. Do you want to buy it? It's the same thing, right? So if you're doing that right now, stop, okay? Now that we got that out of the way, the first thing that we need to do is get the attention of our ideal clients, okay? And the format that I've seen work best is number 1, B-roll with like read the caption. If you're on Instagram a decent amount, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, B-roll, read the caption. Also, proceed with caution with tips. Okay, you don't want to be the free tip person who always gives away free tips, because then people just keep coming back to you for free information. However, you can post like 3 tips. Here's this 3-step process to get this outcome. And then I'll even add as a bonus with a lead magnet. Okay, if you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's essentially you're giving away something for free if they comment, right? You probably see people do that all the time, where you can say, like, let's say you're a baseball catching coach and you're like, okay, this is the 3-step process to throwing a sub 2-0 pop time. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And if you want an exact blueprint for your situation, just comment the word pop and I'll send it to you, right? So you'll get a bunch of people commenting. When you give away free information like that, you're gonna get a lot more leads. They're just gonna be a lot lower intent because you're giving away something for free, right? So proceed with caution, okay? And then the third thing is stories. Storytelling is what's ultimately going to get the most amount of views, because if you can tell a really good story and it's widely relatable to a big group of people, then that is like, people are gonna share that with their friends, right? Shares are what Instagram really cares about, okay? Also, if it's an interesting story, people are gonna watch the entire thing, or they're gonna watch it multiple times. Instagram really cares about watch time, okay? And an example that I have here is the My Story video. Inside of our program, Remote Training University, you can check out the link in the description. One of the first videos that we have people make is the My Story video. That video has the highest probability of going viral for whatever it is, right? I have a client that I'm thinking about him right now, played for a long time, played in AAA with the Royals and a bunch of other teams. He went from like basically a brand new account, making the My Story video, got him like 1 million views or something like that, put him on the map, and now obviously he's really good at what he does. He's got tens of thousands of followers, does really well for himself, yada, yada, yada. Point being, the My Story video was kind of like his arrival. Like, hey guys, this is who I am, this is my long track record. So if you're somebody that has like a super high level playing background, you can leverage the My Story video. And my recommendation, if you're a client right now too, make the My Story video over and over and over and over and over again in as many different ways as you possibly can. The hack to Instagram, this is where a lot of people get it wrong, is they think they need to make, new videos all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. That's actually not true. You need to make the same video with the same information packaged differently in a bunch of different ways. That is how you maximize the views, because the viewers will tell you what they care about. Right? The viewers will tell you what they care about with their watch time, with their shares, okay? So if you can pay attention to that and then just double, triple, quadruple down on the things that are working, like the My Story video, then all you need to do is make different variations of the My Story video, right? It ain't that complicated, okay? Boom. Now that we got attention out of the way, trust, okay? The second thing we need to do is we need to build our trust. So as you can see right here, I say top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, because at each stage, there's gonna be less and less and less people, okay? So we get their attention, now it's time to build their trust. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust, okay? And then from there, we can ask them to buy something. Now, when it comes to building trust with somebody on the internet, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna put results, okay? If this is your first YouTube video of mine that you've ever seen, if you notice at the beginning of the video, what did I say? I helped a bunch of people make over $30,000 a month using this exact strategy, so it works, right? I'm giving myself credibility. Okay, and if you go on this YouTube channel, I have dozens of interviews with my clients that'll say that we know what we're doing, okay? Why do we do that? To build your trust and show that we're actually an authority. Our clients do the exact same thing, okay? They spam results of their athletes, okay? Number 2 is a personal story. Okay? The more you can tell your personal story, the more you can even show like, hey, these are my failures, the more you can be vulnerable, the more people are going to trust you, right? Because the thing is, people want to work with somebody who is like going to be honest about the ups and the downs that they've gone through, because nobody is just up and to the right all the time. It's not true. That's not true. I've seen a big change in my business with my clients as I am more and more and more transparent with the struggles that I've been through as an entrepreneur, right? So personal story is huge, And then number 3, this one's a little bit more beliefs. This one's a little bit more advanced, okay? And that's a lot of what we talk about inside of our scale program, where our average client is like doing anywhere from like 10 to 30K a month. If you wanna check that out, obviously, you can click the link in the description. But like beliefs are more like, what are the things that are holding these people back mentally from purchasing that I need to handle before they ever make it to a sales call, right? So like a lot of people, they don't realize that objections in the sales call come from not having the proper belief system, right? I'm not sure if I can coach athletes online, for example. Like that's obviously not true. Of course you if you're a good coach, right? If you're not actually a good coach, you're not good at what you do, then, maybe it's not for you. But if you're actually a good coach, like you really care about helping people, like, yeah, of course you can coach athletes online. Your belief system is so skewed and you don't really realize how possible it is. So it's my job to empower you and show you what's possible, right? By showing you, I have clients that do $100,000 a month coaching athletes online. If you want to make $10,000 a month coaching athletes online, guess what? You could probably do it, okay? So, examples, I already talked about empowering. I talked about like playing career, right? If I was to go back, I would talk all about how I struck out all the time and how it was literally just a byproduct of my own mental and I couldn't control my emotions. And that is going to resonate with somebody very, 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 very specific, right? And that's the whole point of what I'm trying to get across to you right now, is we want to be so direct and so specific in our marketing that when somebody watches that video, they're like, oh my goodness, this guy's talking directly to me right now. And if you watch a lot of my content, you probably feel the exact same way. That's how I'm able to do so well in my business with not a lot of followers in an industry that a lot of people don't even believe is real. It's kind of funny, okay? So, Instagram story results. If you can just spam wins on your story every single day, you know, like I have a client right now who is an online pitching coach, and he'll just post like his athletes hitting PRs on his story all the time. Boom, 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 right? Like 10 of them in a row. Don't be afraid in this entire process to just overwhelm your audience with volume, okay? Because here's the thing, if you post, let's say even 5 times a day and you make really good content, you're doing your audience a favor. Now, if your content is not that good, it's not going to get shown to anybody, which means you're just getting more opportunities, more shots on goal to make your content better over an extended period of time, right? If I post 5 times as many times as you do, I have 5 times as many chances to get better, right? And think about it. On that first day, you post once, I post 5 times, okay? I get 5 opportunities to get better. That's 5 feedback loop cycles. You have to wait until Friday to get the data that I got on day 1. Think about how much faster I'm going to go than you, right? That compounds over time. That's why volume is so important. You can't be afraid of the volume, and you have to make this effortless. I was on a call with a client inside of our group call, right? Inside of our program, Remote Training University. And she was like, she's, you know, working a 9-to-5 job, and she's got kids and all this stuff. And she's like, I'm not sure how to make content. I'm like, okay, well, like, how much are you posting right now? She's like, I try to post once a day. I'm like, well, how much are you actually posting? And she's like, well, you know, like every other day, sometimes it's sporadic, sometimes it's once a day, sometimes it's twice a day. I'm like, all right, well, which of these pieces of content, we pull up her Instagram. I'm like, which of these pieces of content can you make every single day? Is it easy that you could just post 3 times a day, every single day? And she's like, okay, this one, this one, this one. I'm like, perfect, right? And then a week later, we get on a group call, and now she's making way more content, way more shots on goal, okay? And that is what's going to allow her to iterate so much faster to get the outcomes that she wants, okay? I digress. This middle of funnel and top of funnel section, this is where we want to make a majority of our content. Okay, the bottom of funnel conversion type of content, you want to think about it like a cloud. We are filling the cloud with attention, and then we're saturating the cloud with trust. And then when we go to actually try and sell to people, the cloud is saturated. That's when we compress the cloud. The more we can pump volume into the cloud, this is why I am such a believer in volume. Okay, pump volume in the top half of the cloud, then when you compress it at the bottom and you do a direct call to action, which is basically, if you're this person looking to get this outcome, DM me, then you're gonna have a lot more juice to squeeze, okay? But we're building the goodwill up here, and then at the bottom, we're trying to get people to come out of the bottom of the funnel and turn into clients, right? So what that looks like is like objections, okay? Number 1, objections. You could do this on your story, you could do this on Reels, right? You could do it on carousels, however you want, it doesn't matter. Do all of the content formats in as many different formats as you can and see what resonates. I like to do yaps, right? If you go on my Instagram right now, @TheRealNickNeville, then you'll see I do a bunch of just like simple talking head type of videos, right? Where I'm just talking directly to the camera. Usually I'm handling an objection that my sales team got. Right? I'm trying to make their job easier. I'm trying to lubricate the sales process because obviously now that person's already gone. They're probably not going to come back and buy. But for the next person, I'm handling their objection. So that way, by the time they get to the call, they're more or less ready to go. Okay? Questions. These are super important. I mix up the order of these. Story FAQs. This is some real sauce, okay? If you want to figure out like what types of objections people have, or like what beliefs you need to break, do an FAQ on your story and say like, what questions do you have about online coaching? And then people will just, how does it work? Does this, can this really work? I don't think online coaching is gonna be good. Boom, those are a bunch of content ideas, okay? Right? This is also how you can engage with your audience, build a little bit of trust, and start conversations with them, right? They respond to a story FAQ. Now you have a conversation, now you're in there, now you can set them on your calendar for an actual sales call with their parents. Okay, and then obviously, like I said, the direct call to action, that's just a DM me type of post. Now, if you only do one of these three things, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work. We need to get their attention. We need to build their trust. We need to convert them, okay? And usually there's only one bottleneck on your Instagram right now. You either don't have enough attention, AKA nobody knows who you are, which means you need to get better at getting views and making viral type of content, okay? That's number one. Number two, if you're not getting people swiping up on your stories, if you're not getting people randomly messaging you saying they love your content, if they're not getting people saying, hey, I really like your message, it's trust. It's trust. You're not building enough trust with your audience, okay? Now, if you get plenty of views, you have tons of trust, people are saying that, but nobody's really DMing you to work with you directly, you just need to make a direct ask, okay? Or if you're getting on sales calls and people have a lot of these objections, start trying to handle them in your content, okay? And obviously, if you want help with all of this, you can go ahead, check out the link in the description for our online coaching program where we can help you scale the $10, $20, $30, $50, $100,000 a month coaching athletes online, okay? So if you just want to continue to watch these YouTube videos for free, that's cool with me either way. Hopefully you guys got a ton of value out of this. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.